All the while we have been talking about the fractures which are simple, and some of the complications the fractures may be accompanied with, or during the course of the treatment. All these things which I have mentioned, nearly 20 complications we may come across following a fracture. This is about simple fractures, its management and complications. But the most dreaded thing is compound fractures of the bones, compound fractures. Compound fracture, the definition of a compound fracture is a fracture which is in communication with exterior. Fracture, this is the main definition of a fracture, that is, you take this as skin, the bone is there inside, there is just a diagrammatic representation. The fracture comes out like this. Following the fracture, the fragment will come out like this, or due to crush injuries or any severe violence, the skin which is there, barrier, is broken. The normal skin here, this is the normal skin here, and the bone inside, because of the barrier is broken, the bone is exposed, the fracture fragment the fracture fragment is directly exposed because the skin is completely either lost or partially torn. This is a general terms we call it as a lacerated injury or complete loss of skin, depending upon the severity of the injury. So, why are you worried about a compound fracture? As one of the complications mentioned in simple fractures, the infection. Here, since the bones are exposed to the exterior, the chances of infection are very, very high. That is why whenever there is a compound fracture, you have got to remember to tell the patient that this fracture may take a very long time to heal, and especially so if it is delayed for more than 24 hours. Unless you know this, and unless you tell the patient in the beginning itself, it is going to be a problematic thing, because the fracture may take very long time to heal. Patient may require the services of a vascular surgeon, surgeons who can do the peripheral repair, peripheral nerve repairs, and then most important, the plastic surgeon. So, all of us will have to do combined to do it. It is going to be a very expensive affair. It is going to be a long drawn out affair. Under these circumstances, unless we are aware of this compound fractures, we may not be able to assess the fracture properly and guide the patient properly, and we will not be able to plan the treatment of the fracture. And this, once again, there are different types. One classification is, one type of classification is fracture from within outside. Here the force is indirect, that is, somebody falls from a height and lands on the floor like this. At that time, because of the force, the fragments are broken, and one of the fragments will temporarily come out and then goes back or retracts back. At that time, we see only a small wound known as punctured wound. Sometimes it may be so small that we might miss it, but usually there will be trickling of blood from that punctured wound, which indicates probably it is a compound fracture. Sometimes an aberration or a small laceration will be far away from the original fracture. We do not call it as a compound fracture, because when the injury is not in communication with the fracture site. So, this is to be remembered. There is a separate injury a little far away from the fracture, it has nothing to do with the fracture, and we do not call it as a compound fracture. Second type is second type of thing is known as directly compound. It used to be the previous classification. It is a very simple classification, but unfortunately it does not give us the gravity of the situation or the degree of injury, or the problem really is there with the fracture. So, people have evolved separate classification known as grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3. Grade 1, this is the technically compound about which we have said. Here in grade 1 it is a small punctured wound, but there is not much damage to the skin. It is known as grade 1 compound fracture. Now then we go to the grade 2. Here the skin is injured up to a measurement of 5 centimeters. 5 centimeter skin injury. Here that means there is some injury to the soft tissue also at the time of the fall. It is just not a punctured wound, it just come and gone back. There is more than that in this grade 2 injury. Grade 3 is more than 5 centimeters. Here once again in grade 3, depending upon associated injuries, we call them as grade 3 A, B and C. So, B and C is there excessive damage to the tissues, and in grade C there is injury to the nerves, blood vessels, and then some loss of skin, and sometimes even the bone might be lost to a certain extent. Depending upon the damage to the soft tissues, we call, and then injury to the blood vessels, nerves and all those things, we grade them into 3A, B and C. Why do you want to know whether the injury compound fracture is grade 1, grade 2 or grade 3? Because as I already mentioned, there is one thing is the bones are exposed to the atmosphere, and then there is likelihood of infection. That is the most important problem with A, infection. Accompanying injury to muscles, vessels, nerves and loss of bone. Because of all these reasons, you have got to be very careful and treat the patient very, very cautiously. Now, how do you manage these fractures, compound fractures? For compound fractures, unless we know the age or the duration before which the patient presents to us from the time of injury. So, if the patient comes to us within 6 hours, complications less. As the time goes on, up to 24 hours, the complications are manageable. After 24 hours complications are more. So, you have got to be careful about when the patient has presented to you from the time of injury, that is very, very important. So, within 6 hours usually the complications are least, and after 24 hours it is manageable, and after 24 hours complications are more. In other words, sooner you see the patient, better it is